engine of any economy is not aid.
21st century will be the century of women.
The open border, which is actually something which helps the people of both countries, is not misused by terrorists.
I don't think we have anything in Denmark that you don't have in Nepal. It's all in the mind and in the mindset.
There was a deliberate attempt by the Hamas to target civilians. And I think anywhere in the world you will not find a government that will tolerate it.
Welcome back. You're watching Power Talks. We are in conversation with Mr. Sujit Mundul, the CEO and Director of Standard Chartered Bank, Nepal. How do you see the performance of Standard Chartered banks in South Asia and especially in Nepal?
Standard Chartered in South Asia has been doing very well despite the economic meltdown. In Nepal, we have been performing very well. The recently concluded financial year, that is 15 July 2009, we have posted a post-tax profit of 102 crores, and which is I think it's quite a landmark for us. And under the given circumstances, with the growth of 3.5% in the economy, and with all these difficulties around uncertainty, difficulties, lack of confidence, I think it's a very good performance.
People anywhere around the world would like to be ensured of safe investments. Is there a formula or an education or knowledge with which they can secure their investment and avoid losses? Or is it all just luck by chance?
No, it is not luck by chance. I think a lot of education is required, a lot of knowledge is required, and when somebody is investing, somebody has to be told very clearly that these are the pros and cons in this investment. So transparency is very important even in IPOs, and their regulators have to play a very big role. Even media has a very big role to play. Governance and transparency, high level of governance is required. Because it is a developing economy, it needs that discipline is required to make the market educated.
Most of the CEOs and directors of banks and multinationals hold the similar college degree and knowledge, yet they perform differently. To what extent does the creative and positive thinking contribute to business leadership, or is it a distraction from profit?
Leadership is required to get your team or the organization better organized and driven in a direction which ultimately contributes to the bottom line. So it is not distracted or delinked from the bottom line. Focus would be the bottom line, and it depends on the leader, how the leader carries the organization, including people. So it's not divorced. They are very, very complementary to each other.
Is that where your love for Ravindra Sangeet and poetry comes in?
To some extent, yes. This is basically due to the upbringing, and the family also contributed, the kind of environment I was born.
Where do you see the correlation of your work and your creative pursuit?
A leader has to be evolving all the time, which means creativity. So I do not see any conflict in creativity and leadership. It's all linked. It's all here in your mind, and I think that does work.
How do you manage time between the both? Because you have a busy schedule with work.
Yes, that's true. I think it's a question of your will and intention. If you have the will, you will find a way. If you do not have, excuses will be there. So I do not believe in that. I think it's up to an individual. If individual wants to do something, individual will find time and do it. If the individual doesn't want to do something, they have enough excuses to say that I'm very busy.
What are some of the success stories in Nepal in terms of economic growth and business expansion?
For Standard Chartered?
For your bank?
We have been the highest profit-making bank for the last 7-8 years consecutively, despite all the difficulties. Our shares are quoted around 6,000 rupees, 100 rupee shares. Market cap is about $747 million. Our investment is about $21 million, of which about $20 million during the height of crisis in the country, which is 2005. Height of conflict time, I managed to get that investment out of the group. We picked up 25% share from our partner here, that is Nepal Bank, and that was one of the landmark as a success for Standard Chartered. It was an associate company of Standard Chartered Group. Now it has become a 75% subsidiary of Standard Chartered. Market cap is pretty high, earning per share is pretty spectacular. We have been rewarding our shareholders very well over the last few years, about 130% payout, which 80% by a cash dividend, 50% by a bonus share, and consecutive years we have been doing that. So we have brought many new products, first of its kind in the country, both in wholesale bank and in consumer bank. That way we are the product leader in the market. We are expected to be that, being a foreign bank, multinational bank. And I think, in terms of governance, I think we are pretty strong in that. And we have been recognized by the regulator, that is Nepal Rashtra Bank, many times. And we are very thankful for their recognition of our good systems and high level of governance.
When we talk about global economy, it is said that if there is a bomb blast in a city in Europe, it in a way impacts the stock exchange market in Mumbai. We live in a global village, where also we have a lot of youth unemployment and extremism is on the rise. Cannot the investors also invest in the positive growth of young generation, yes, even if it is to ensure their own investments?
Yes, I agree with you. It's a global village now, world is flat now, everyone is connected to everyone. I think yes, but thing is this, that those decisions have to be conscious decisions. Those decisions have to be measured very carefully and have to be ensured that the money goes into the right channel and used. So end use of funds are very important. Giving money to somebody is very easy, but monitoring the use of end use of funds is also very important. So I think to make the whole thing successful, we need commitment from everybody. It's not holistically, the banking system is holistically responsible for this. It's not that. As a recipient is also equally responsible, regulators are responsible. It's a holistic responsibility to make it successful.
Lastly, efforts are being taken around the world to recover from this crisis. How long will it take us to recover and to get the economy back to track?
I think there will be two different time frames for the two major parts of the world. Western economies will take longer time because the damage done to the Western economies by the global meltdown is far more serious compared to the Asian economies. But as we have said that it's a global village today, so there is contagion effect on the Asian economies also. But I think give and take, to my estimation, it's very difficult to predict, but my estimation will take about 3 years from now to see a semblance back to the earlier situation, and from there hopefully a growth phase will start.
Let us hope that with efforts of business leaders like yourself and the civilians around the world, we are able to recover from this crisis and get economy back to track so that we can also achieve the development goals for the cause of larger population. With this hope, I wish you good luck and goodbye. See you next week, the same time. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for being in the source and as a culture of our program.